We're back with the Bishop Heelan Baseball pregame show here on Siouxland Catholic Radio. You're getting ready to listen to the Iowa Class 3A State Baseball Championship between the Bishop Heelan Crusaders and the North Polk Comets. First pitch come up here in a few minutes. Let's take the time to chat with two members of the Crusaders baseball team. The first one we'll talk with is head coach Andy Osborne and get his thoughts going into today's big game, and then we'll talk with senior George Tsiobanos, who is playing in his third state championship game this school year. I think that's a really cool feat for anyone to match, and Tsiobanos will be playing in the state championship baseball game after playing in the state championship football game and the state championship soccer match. We talked to him a little bit about that as well. The first question I asked Coach Osborne was on Wednesday night. This is a rare occasion for an athletic program like Heelan to be in a third state championship game in a school year. What attributes to that?
Well, I think it speaks to this class of athletes, right? We knew it when they come in as eighth graders. They were pretty special. I mean, we saw them, you think back to COVID. That was the COVID summer, and we had so many restrictions, and we had to put them through the paces of a tryout day. So we had all these eighth graders coming and trying out. And we knew then this is a special group. They were doing things as eighth graders that we hadn't seen before. And, you talk about George. Middle of the season, we went around. We do a thing called Real Life Wednesdays. And kind of have some questions that we ask them, and then they all have to share in front of the group. And one of the days we did a question of what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to be remembered as? And George, he said he wanted to be the first player in Heelan history to win a state title in soccer and baseball. And he's got a shot now. He's got an opportunity. So it's a special group. It's absolutely a special group. It's so much fun to be around kids that think the same way. Incredibly driven athletes. I mean, obviously we got four of these guys are going on to play college baseball. They are driven. They know that they're good athletes. They've had success, even basketball a year ago, Sean Schaefer starting on that team. Again, it's a fun group to be around. It's a loose group. And, that's the best part, is we get to enjoy an entire season with them.
I want to go back to the COVID night where you guys played Storm Lake at North.
Yeah.
Things were just a little helter-skelter there with a lot of guys having COVID. Softball team, I think I got knocked out. When you had to have those eighth graders, now seniors, step up, what was the conversation like after that night? Were you optimistic that eighth grade group could make the climb to where they are tonight?
I mean, obviously, that's a long stretch of time to anticipate getting to here, right? But we knew they were special. We knew they were really athletic and a good group. You always have some attrition. You know what I mean? We have whatever the number is, eighth graders trying out, and then you lose a handful each year. And that's part of the process. But this group stuck together. Again, George is such a special example of that. He was a kid that early on was kind of on the fence with baseball. He loves football, he loves soccer family, but stuck with it. And then he had a shoulder injury, and he was fighting that. And he had every reason in the world to stop playing baseball, but he kept coming and kept showing up and kept working. And and every spring it was soccer, and then we'd get him to baseball when we got him, and he's improved so much every year. And I've told you both this, that our season changed when we got George back full time. That was a big difference for us to have that table setter, have that leadership, have a guy that's just gritty and knows how to win. That's a big part of it too. He's a special player.
You mentioned guys sticking through it. We'll go back to Wednesday night for a second. Lefebvre told me that he had a sore thumb there and had to battle back. But tried to battle through the sixth, and he tried to, but just had two pitches that went high. Yep. But he had a solid night tonight, forcing 10 ground outs. He and Baker, I think, forced 11 total. What does that say about Lefebvre not being afraid to pitch for contact?
Well, it's him being ready for the moment, right? It's him taking that next step as an elite athlete, which he'll be he'll be the next Jaron Bleeker. You know what I mean? I really believe that. He's such a special kid. He works at it so hard. He wants to be great. And to see him want the ball in this situation and then go out there and deliver. Even, that first inning was a little rocky. He worked through it and really settled in and got a bunch of soft contact. And then, he jams his thumb there before the 7th. And we wanted him to get the complete game, but he wasn't able to do it. Felt like we needed to make the change quick. And Brady came in and was firing fastballs, and Fitch with a great play on the run. It's a pretty cool deal.
Another pitcher who likes to pitch for contact. Tonight's pitcher, Connor Sitzman. I think he's had a really solid year, and he might be the unsung hero of the pitching rotation. What has he meant to this team this season, and how special is it for him to get a state championship start?
Well, I think we had the conversation before the season, before the playoff run, and just the two of us. We sat down, and initially it was going to be Wahab. He was going to pitch that first playoff game. And Connor came in and said, Coach, I want to pitch that game. I think I deserve it. And went home that night, and I slept on it, and I thought about it. And I thought, you know what? Senior, he does deserve it. Let's give him the ball. And he's been so confident on the mound. You think about that Sergeant Bluff game, those first 4 innings, he was lights out. They couldn't do anything with him. And so to see him get this opportunity, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm happy for Connor. He's a kid that has tried to battle into the lineup and just hasn't pushed through from an offensive standpoint. But he's maximized his opportunities, and I'm so excited for him to get the chance to pitch on Friday night.
What's going to be the big key for this Friday night championship game?
Well, much like these other 2 games, we got to throw strikes. We can't give free bases. I mean, you guys I'm going to give you all the coach speak in the world on these because you've heard it a million times. You got to throw strikes, got to play defense, and got to have timely hitting, right? And that's been our recipe for sure.
Next up, we turn our attention to senior George Tsiobanos. And the first question I asked him was how special it was for him to realize this is his 3rd state championship game this year.
It's really exciting. We've struggled in sports, particularly football, last couple of years, and to get to the state championship in not 1 but 3 sports is really exciting.
What is it about the resiliency of this team, especially in the postseason in the last 2 weeks?
I feel like teams in the past, we've kind of built on it. We've always kind of wet the bed in the sub-state last couple of years, and I feel like for a lot of sports, and I think we've just grown and realized that we can't go away in the big moments, and this year we've stuck with it every single time, down or up.
So for you personally, football wasn't that close, but soccer came down to a golden goal, and here in baseball have come down to some tough moments. Have you kind of been able to teach the guys? I know in the 3 football guys here in the triple overtime game against Sioux Center, so some of you guys have had experienced these close moments. Have you guys, especially you 3 seniors, you, Brady, and Bleak, have you guys tried to show the younger guys or tried to teach the younger guys what those big moments are like so they're ready for them?
Yeah, I kind of just leave your body on the line. At the end of the day, it's just a game. And good things usually happen when you sell all out.